Hello, all of you Vainglorious, wonderful people. This is the Pfister Comet Safari, and I'm about to find out if it'll off-road in the snow. That's right, this is the first of this season's off-roading in the snow videos. I know it says vote for the vehicles that you want to see, but instead leave a comment down below letting me know what you'd like to see. I've already taken comments from last week's video and recorded several of the cars that you guys gave me comments for. Well, the snow should be returning tomorrow, and I'll have a chance to record quite a few more cars this weekend. So leave a comment of what you'd like to see. Remember, this isn't really a versus series. I know it's always two cars, but it's never those two cars versus one another. It's just I happen to test two cars per video. So don't think of it as a versus, you know, of two things I want to see, this versus this. Think of it more just individual cars you'd like to see, and I'll see what I can do about getting them tested in the snow. I hope to get about 8 more cars done. I think I've got 6 right now, so that we'll have a few weeks of content in the snow to play with. It'll take us through February, March. So the Comet Safari, kind of made for off-roading and doing really well in the snow. It seems that it has a good split for the power between the front and the rear wheels, so that no wheels are ever really spinning all that much. I mean, yeah, we're kicking up quite a rooster tail of snow, but that's to be expected. Any car is going to do that, whether the tires are spinning or not. Ran into a bit of an issue because I turned in a little too soon there, and the car just couldn't get grip. What's pretty amazing is my buddy Rocket is right behind me in just a regular Comet, fully upgraded and everything. And he caught up, so he's doing pretty good there. It's just a regular Comet, so maybe you don't need all-wheel drive in the snow for this car. The ground clearance helps, though, that's for certain. But, I mean, it's been fairly effortless, aside from, you know, one error on my part. Ooh, almost a second one. Almost drove right off the side of the mountain there. It is a problem in some of the quicker cars is, even though it's all-wheel drive, you can see sometimes when I get on the gas a little bit, the back end wants to step out and come around. So you do have to watch for that. Yeah, it just wiggles everywhere it goes. I love it, though. This is a car that I really don't drive all that often. It's not that I dislike it. It's just it came out at the beginning of the Doomsday Heist DLC, and it's on my second character, which I don't really play on my second character all that often. He's there more to collect cars. I really need to, like, just start playing on my second character more and more, but I don't ever want to switch over because all the properties and everything that ties into each other are all on my first character. Anyway, that's why I haven't really driven this car much, but I am really happy with it. I like it a lot, and it makes a nice addition to my growing Pfister collection, which will not be including the Neon. Sorry, I'm not really looking forward to that car. I just don't like it. I don't like its looks. I don't like the way it drives. I mean, it's quick and all, but it's just not for me. Coming up to the last little bit where we have to do some very slippery rock climbing, and it wanted to go a little to the left, so I'm just going to go ahead and go back down, back up just a little bit so I can get a good line on this here. And then not so much gas this time, trying to control that wheel spin, and there we go. That is how it's done. We are up at a pretty decent time of 3 minutes, 27 seconds. Will it off-road in the snow? Well, yeah, there it is. You can see for yourself. It absolutely did. And so did Rocket's Comet. Though mostly, it sounds like he might be struggling back there. But let's go ahead and now do a controlled descent. There you go. You can see Rocket made it. Now he's trying to get in my way. One of these videos, I run into him. By the way, you're going to see saving failed in a lot of these snow videos. This was the very first day that the snow was here, and I guess Rockstar servers were just overwhelmed with people wanting to come play in the snow. So I wound up with saving failed for several hours. It would come and go, but for the most part, it had saving failed the whole time. Which is fine, because all I did was drive cars up and down a mountain. I love the sound that thing makes under engine braking. It's just a really nice growly sound. Come on, I want to go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Definitely bouncing around a lot. course, that really high suspension is a big part of that, because there's a lot of suspension travel, so sometimes it's going to want to bounce around a bit. Came to a dead stop back there, almost a dead stop here. Just trying to come around that corner. If you wonder why Rocket's no longer behind me, it's because he fell off the mountain, but you could probably tell if you look at his little icon, spinning around and around and around. Got really sideways coming down there, but I was able to save it and get going back in the right direction. Just trying to be really careful with the throttle around these corners so that I don't wind up causing it to oversteer and go flying off the mountain. Real ugly there, but again, nice recovery in the end. And a lot of that's due to the car. It just does recover quite nicely. Makes a nice sound down through there as well. Heavy on the brakes to scrub off some of that speed. Now we're just going to coast and look at it just kind of drift right around that corner. Beautifully done. This car does really well in the snow. I'm very, very happy with how it performs. And so if you're looking for a good off-roader, you know, for the 6 days a year it snows in game, well, this is the one. You're going to encounter a couple errors. I think it's this car that I managed to, yeah, spun it around, but real easy to get right back underway. I just hit reverse once it got to the 180, flicked the stick to get the front end to keep coming around, and then once it was round, hit drive and just counter steered into it, and it was fine. Same thing here, though not quite as graceful, but it is an easy vehicle to correct when you have that problem. Then again, most cars in GTA will do that to some extent on the snow. Some of them want to keep going on around, though. There's Rocket. He took the quick way down. We're down 2 minutes, 49 seconds flat as you hear my water bottle open. Let's go back up to the top for a damage descent in darkness. Water. Don't know why that sentence, in darkness, was so hard to say, but there it is. I don't know if we've lost headlights yet or not, because I forgot to turn them on. On this, they actually did it right. If you put the blackout covers on the regular headlights, they never come on. I know a lot of cars with the blackout covers for headlights, light still comes out of them, which is stupid. What I don't know is what that light under the bottom of the car is every once in a while. When it flips over every once in a while, there's just a light on the bottom of the car. I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to be. It's taking a pretty bad beating. I mean, it's already lost its, what would we call that, the hood, since that's over the engine? Sure, we'll call that the hood. And it looks like we've lost our taillights. Nothing really, nothing really too bashed in and deformed, simply because, well, it's a newer vehicle in GTA and Rockstar can't be bothered. Down here into the really bumpy, muddy bits, well, or into a concrete wall first, and then into the bumpy, muddy bits. And it's doing all right, getting bounced around quite a bit. Again, a lot of play in that suspension. Arrived to that tunnel quite nicely. Back end started to come around here on me, so I figured, you know what, I'll just go with it and back up the hill. That'll be fine, and it was. And there we go. Damage descent over with a time of 1 minute, 39 seconds. Let's take a look at the damage. Most of the lights windows are gone, and the front trunk won't close. The hood / engine cover is gone, and it has minor paint damage. And that's going to bring us to our next vehicle. The Ubermacht Sentinel Classic. Done up as in the style of a Mafia Sentinel from GTA 3. Love this little car. Ton of fun to drive. For some reason misclassed in the sports class. Don't know why I just pulled up my phone there, but I did. Lining up for the start. And we're off with a ton of wheel spin. Just a ton. Another quick drink of water for me there. You probably heard the water bottle snap back on. Got a little sideways there. I've got Rocket following me on a, yeah, there we go. I just heard him beep. On a four-wheeler this time. I think it's one of the Street Blazers. Commander in his Avenger, and somewhere during this video, Tacos joins us. I think he actually joined mid-recording, right? He joined in the lobby, So a lot of wheel spin, a lot of the back end wanting to really get away from me. So this car has taken a lot of work and a lot of concentration to keep it moving forward and not sideways. Up there goes Rocket jumping right over me. Look pretty cool. There's Commander's Avenger just off to the left. Kind of coming at a weird approach here, so I'm getting a lot of wheel spins because I couldn't carry any of that speed. And here I'm just trying to find that sweet spot in the throttle where the car will get grip without being hit by a dumbass on a four-wheeler. Where the car will get grip without getting too much wheel spin, too. And I think I found it because we made it up there. Kind of slowly, but at least we made it. However, as we approach at a really funky angle there, the car doesn't quite have it. And I miscalculate where I needed to turn and managed to fall off the side. But don't count the Sentinel out yet, because I was determined to find a spot where I could get back up on the path. I thought that was going to be it, but nope, not quite. So what I'm going to do is speed up our footage here. I'm going to take about the next 2.5 minutes of footage and shrink it down to about 30 seconds. Just until I get right up to the path again. Because basically I just kept hunting for a place to find the path. For some reason we have a hiker just running down the side of the hill. Gonna have a really nice thread the needle moment between some trees coming up. I'm not sure when it happens. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I thought that was pretty awesome. And then trying to get to the path and slowing it back down. So there we go. Back on the path. A little bit farther down from where we started. The car's a little beat up, but that's okay. Let's try this again, shall we? I already had one test run through here, so I know what it's capable of through this section. I'm not Jesus, but I will watch it, sir. Definitely stepping out there, which caused me to lose a lot of speed, so now I just have to floor it. There we go. Tons of wheel spin. The car just bounced off of its rev limiter back there. But we seem to be doing alright. Again, going really gentle on the throttle here. I think I was about a third way on the throttle just to avoid that wheel spin. And let's see if I can not mess this up this time. I turned it too far to the right the first time. So there we go. I cut it just right. But again, as it goes to the left to avoid having the back end step out, the car just doesn't want to cooperate. This time, however, I managed to steer it in reverse despite the wheel spin. And people say I can't drive in GTA. That was pretty expert right there. Oh, we seem to have the dead hiker up on the trail. What have you done, Rocket? What have you done? So with like 9 minutes still remaining in the video, you can tell this is going to take a little bit. Just trying to figure out how I can get this thing. I need to try to get over here to the trail, and there the hiker stopped me. So Rocket said hiker got in the way. But if I can get the car on more on the trail and less off to the sides, I should be able to get more grip. But again, I get hung up on the hiker. So kind of a sticky situation here. I don't know what Rocket just did. Did he throw something on my car? It looked like he threw a sticky bomb on my car. Or maybe he just punched it. There's no sticky bomb, so who knows. Alright, gonna try this again now that we've fallen off the back from wheel spin. And how that happened, I don't know, but the hiker is gone. A lot of wheel spin. Gonna have to try this one more time, and oh, the front end almost goes over. Yeah, definitely close there. Alright, I'm gonna try to get as much speed as I can to just carry me. Way too far to the right, though, so I bounced over that ridge. Alright, gonna try to go a little bit from the side this time, but that caused the back end of the car to want to come around. Alright, gonna push, gonna try to get back over on the path, because I think if I can get on that path, I'll be alright. Oh, but I couldn't get over there. Alright, gonna just take it on a controlled drop back down. Got a little brave there and got really close to the edge. That was definitely a pucker factor of about 7.5. If you don't know what I mean, well, Google it. Here we go. We're on the trail a little bit more. Oh, we're going to make it. Yes, beautiful. Nothing but wheel spin because there's nowhere that I can find on the throttle that those wheels stop spinning. That's okay, because look at that. We finally made it past that difficult section. And it's only taken nearly 8 minutes to do it. And you know what? I knew the car could do it, so that's why I kept at it. I know a lot of times I'll give up after 3 tries, and that's because there's some vehicles that you can just tell they're just not going to ever make it. But this wasn't one of them. I was confident that if I just kept at it, I could get this thing to go, so we were definitely back underway. We still have a long climb ahead of us, though. But at this point, we're only going to be halfway up the mountain? Yeah, something like that. The twists and turns are definitely slowing me down because that back end wants to come out. So I have to lose a lot of speed to prevent that from happening. And then, of course, every one of those turns is followed by a really steep incline. Just making this car work really, really hard to climb the mountain in the snow. But it was a ton of fun to do it. There's Rocket showing off in his ATV again. I switched to Proxbine since he's behind me, but then I thought the better of it. You know, I didn't want to blow him up and then have the remains of his ATV in my way when I came back down, so, you know, it's whatever. Yeah, quit showing off. You see you on your ATV. Oh, looks like maybe he made a bit of a miscalculation. And we have tacos coming up in another helicopter. Pay attention to what chopper tacos is in here in a little bit. It will be important. Because I really didn't want to drive all the way back up this mountain once I've gotten it up one time. So tacos kind of saved the day for me with the helicopter he's in. Which, you know, I kind of spoiled it now. You know what it is. So gonna try this really slippery bit of rock crawling. And yeah, gave up instantly. Gonna back up now and try to make a running leap. Commander called this a very ballsy move to just gun it and go like this, but I knew the car would be fine. Look at this. Little bit of drama there at the end, but we are up in 10 minutes. 6, almost 7 seconds. Will it off-road in the snow? Yeah, but let's be honest, barely. Just barely. So we're going to head back down Mount Chilliad now with this car already kind of beat up to try a controlled descent. There's tacos. That cargo bob will come in handy later. So we've got our timer on the screen. Gonna be very careful through here. I do not want to fall off the ledge. You get a lot of speed as you go off to the side. Commander has landed, but I think he's back in his Avenger. Yep, he's ready to take back off. And I don't know what Rocket's doing up there. No idea whatsoever. Just trying to watch my speed here so this car doesn't slide away from me. Because I really think it will. That's just, I don't have a whole lot of confidence that I can keep it with gravity working on it going in a straight line. It just isn't the car that wants to do that. And you're going to see it's a struggle. Even though I come to a near stop on a lot of these curves, get really close to the edge there. Back in, nearly came all the way around. Same thing here. I had to come to nearly a dead stop just to avoid sliding too far to the left. Cut that kind of short over the uneven bit though, and it just jumps it instead of trying to maintain any sense of composure. And we come up to our first little jump here, and this is where things go terribly wrong. And we're going to call it a DNF from this point because, yeah, I fall all the way to the bottom of the mountain. And I wasn't about to drive back up and do a controlled descent and then drive back up and do a damage descent. So we're just going to call it DNF for the controlled descent, which is sad. I mean, because it's definitely not in control during 90% of this. It's in control right now because I'm just letting it coast. Literally, that's all that's happening is it's just coasting. No braking, no gas. And I probably should have been on the brakes because then all this started happening. And the car is getting a little miniature damage descent. I did manage to go ahead and climb up to the road just because. I think it was mainly so tacos could come get me easier. But that's Commander and his Avenger. Tacos will be along shortly so that we can go back to the top of Mount Chilliad and do the damage descent, this time in daylight. And we are off. Car is already just beat up. Immediately, I hit a rock. Surprisingly, the headlights are still working. I mean, like, legit, surprisingly, they're still working. But my gosh, look at how much this thing is getting beat up now. I'm surprised all the doors and other body panels are still intact, honestly. Oh, I've managed to park in a tree, though it is going to be just temporarily. Hey, I'm a poet. Didn't even realize it. Continuing down the ravine. Oh, another big hit. People in their wonderful flying machines just watching me, laughing at me. Missed a brush with another tree. Speaking of trees, we haven't seen the tree many crashes in a while, have we? I mean, we see it every time, but I don't know that we've hit it. Or no, I think I hit it recently with a vehicle. I don't remember what it was. These all start running together for a while for me. Oh. Almost a perfect 360 on that one. It wasn't meant to be. The back end of this car just wants to be the first thing down. It no matter what I do to straighten it out, the back end just, there we go. See, it just keeps wanting to be leader of the pack today. So, whatever. Through our first tunnel. See if we can make a nice, graceful entrance in the second one. Pretty much. Down to the really bumpy, really muddy bit, where a lot of cars struggle, and the Sentinel Classic, no exception. I'm just going to back through. I'm not even going to bother trying to get turned around until I'm out of the tunnel. Almost nailed it perfect with a J turn. There we go. With a bunch of people down here to greet me, we are down in 1 minute, 56 seconds. Let's take a look at the damage. Most of the lights are gone. All the windows are gone, along with the front bumper, or the front hood, I'm sorry. The front hood. The only hood. The front bumper's loose, the doors won't close, and there is minor paint damage. Hey, don't forget to go vote for the vehicles that you guys want to see in the regular Will It Off-Road, and then leave a comment down below letting me know what I should test for Will It Off-Road in the snow. Until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.